Am I here? Hello, everyone. You've got my hands today, not my beautiful face, so I do apologise about that. So hoping you can all hear me okay. I like to see lots of love hearts to let me know that you can hear me. I panic about that every single time, don't I? So, can we all hear me? Fabulous. I saw some love. Ah, thank you very much. It's just my way of getting you all to give me lots of love hearts, really. Shannon, hello. Ben McCarthy stood right next to me. Hello. Emma, Shannon, you are early today. Les 55, hello. Hazel Young. Nanny to the girls. Loud and clear. Thank you very much, Shannon. Um, bear with me. Apparently, oh, excuse me. I've got my fans on. Who knew that laptops had fans, eh? There it is. Let me just. Oh, I can hear myself now. Oh, that's better. That's so much better. Harold Willis, hello. Lynn Martin, hello. So, how is everyone? I hope we're all doing well. As promised, I'm here. Is it Thursday? It's Thursday, and we're going to do a live tutorial. I am going to pre-record some as well, just so I can get more content to you. So I'm going to get some pre-recorded, but so we've sort of figured the cameras out. You know, when I said I wanted both cameras, so we've sort of figured that out, but my lighting's really rubbish down this end of the room. So apparently I need a new light above me. So once that's all sorted, then having both cameras on is going to work a lot better. So we're getting there. But I can do it this way for now. So my lives, when I'm launching something, it's gonna be face on camera. But when I'm gonna do tutorials, it's gonna be just like this, just for now, until we get all sorted. Laura Stapp, hello. Lynn Martin, I've got cold, but hey ho, hope you're well. I am. I'm good, thank you. Touch wood. Do you know, touch wood? I haven't had a cold for years. I keep getting COVID. But I haven't had like a cough and cold, like your traditional, cough, cold, flu type things. So, I don't know, is that six of one and half a dozen of the other, isn't it? I think. Emma, you got a cold as well. I think it's going around. I've seen all sorts of people saying that they're feeling a bit rough. Terry H, hello. You're listening while working. Okay, I'll try not to shout then. I can't promise anything. I don't have an indoor voice, unfortunately. Um, so I'm very excited for tonight. It's my first official tutorial of 2025. I know I got way off track last year, didn't I? But we're back with a vengeance, and we're going to be doing this lovely little thing. So these are I'm saying they're Ben's Zen Garden Dreams papers with that really, really beautiful Japanese vibe going on. If I stand it up, you can see it lovely. And then from the side, so I've got my cards popped in here. So we'll open it up and just have a bit of a look. So you can see how it just sits open. So someone said last week it would make sort of a brilliant recipe holder, recipe book. And I thought that's absolutely brilliant because you've got the ability to just flick through it like that. So absolutely brilliant. And then from the side, you can obviously see it's the pants we all needed at Christmas, isn't it? You know, when you sit down for Christmas dinner, you need those elasticated pants on, or the ones that stretch at the waist. So this is what we're going to be doing. I'm going to show you two different ways how to do this. I'm going to show you it with the mount board, and then we're just going to quickly do it as well with just cards. So if you've not got no mount board, or you're not a fan of covering your mount board, for whatever reason, I'm going to show you both ways, just with your card and then with your mount board. And then you've got the choices there, haven't you? You've got choices and options. Oh, you work from home, Terry. Oh, that's all right then. Uh, Betty, hello. Thank you for joining. Um, so, should I dive right in? Should we wait a little longer to see if anyone else joins? I mean, I'm quite happy to see how you're all doing. Um, make sure that I don't miss anything. So all the usual suspects in my list, I'm liking it. Jane Gibson, hi. Um, so I was just saying, this is what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to be showing you how to create this. And like I was saying, I can't remember who, so apologies, said that it make a perfect recipe book or recipe holder. It absolutely would, because of those sides, the concertina. It just allows you to flick through it and be able to see exactly what you sort of are getting to. Well, I'll show you the cards that I made. So these are the, I think you saw me post them a few days ago. These are the quite clean and simple ones that I created. I just took a panel from, oh, sorry, bear with me. My camera doesn't like that white square at all. Hence me needing new lighting in here. So those are the three that I did the other day with, again, this Zen Garden Dreams. Totally different to the other card that I did, which is quite busy. Even though it's a busy and bold and bright and sort of in your face collection, you just need to take. So I think it's, what did I do? 3x4. I did 3x6. Sorry. So I took 3x6 panels. And just mat and layered them and then put them onto that white background. And it gives you such a different effect, doesn't it? Than if you filled the whole thing with that pattern paper. And I did this deliberately because I wanted to show you not everyone's into the more is more type of thing. Some people do like a little bit more clean and simple, or some people just, it's a very quick card to throw together by just taking sort of that panel and popping it on. The black, always a classic, isn't it? If you're not sure what colour to go for, always go for your black. It's just fabulous. And then this is the one that I created that just sort of popped in there. Again, it's a 5x7, 1.5 inches. I just put a score line on the front so it could open. And then you've got this can just slip in and out of there. So that could be some money. It could be a little gift card. That could just be that's the topper from the A4 rad pad. So you could just be popping your sentiment on the back of that if you want to. And then that's sort of just that one. So those are the cards. So this collection, you've absolutely gone wild for. You're absolutely loving it. And I would love to take the credit, but it's Ben's design, so I'll let him have the credit for it. I will. I'll let him have the credit, definitely. So did I miss? Oh, is Gaz working? I spoke to Gaz earlier. He did say he was going to join, but he was also, I think, working on his hunky dory bits. So should give him a ring really and remind him. Anna Marie, hello. Right, so I've just in case you've just joined, I've got that there because my camera really doesn't like that white bit. So right, we're going to start with. I'll start with showing you it in the mount board. So these are just all my bits. Right, so I've already got one wrapped. Now I use those, I can't remember the name of my own collection. How rubbish am I? So that vintage one that came with this look, that came out just before Ben's. I'm just looking for a front piece so I can tell you what it's called. Vintage Romance. So it's the Vintage Romance. There's the Hearts in Bloom. There's the Hearts in Bloom framed, which is these framed. And then there's the Hearts in Bloom bouquets, which is one of these. So you've got those 3 different pads in this. Now you need 2 pieces of mount board, and they're going to be 8 inches by 6 inches wide. And again, you can see that I've already covered one, just so you don't have to watch me covering them all up. But that is with the bouquet. So that's going to be the back for me. And then my base piece, I've partially done this as well, because again, I'll do one piece sort of from the beginning so you can see exactly how it's done, and then I've just done the same on this one and then this one. So I'm going to pop that to the side as well, and not going to tell you the size. So this is 3 inch by 6 inch. So 2 pieces of mount board that are 6 inches by 8 inches, 1 piece of mount board that is 6 inches by 3 inches. Now I've already got mine glued onto here, again, just for speed for you. And you can see that I've used one of those, the rad pads with the 8x8 topper on, and it literally just fits my 8 peak or my 8 side. my piece of mount board, it just sort of fits that, because obviously that's 8 inches. So we're gonna start on this. So we're gonna trim it down first. Now I love to use these. If you haven't got them, then just use a ruler. You're roughly wanting, I think we've said before, this is about 3/4 of an inch wide. So you're roughly wanting to have that amount around your mount board. Now at the top here, I haven't. I think I've got about, I mean, you can't see, but when I fold it over, you'll see I've got about 3/8 of an inch. Now, the only reason I've gone so low is because I wanted to try and get all of this in. Now, I could have used a 12 by 12 piece, but then a lot of this heart would have been missing from the front, and I wanted to keep as much as this on as possible. So if you're happy and you're all right with just folding that tiny little bit over, then, and you've got that piece of paper that you need to use, and it's just not quite there, you can obviously still do it. But I love this piece, and I went for the smaller one because it reminds me of a kitchen window. And because we're going to sort of use it as a recipe holder, a recipe box, a recipe folder, I thought this one was really perfect. It reminds me of, an old vintage kitchen window. So that's the reason I went for this one. So then what we're going to do is I'm just going to bring this in. I can pick it up, and with my craft knife, we're just going to trim down the edge. And then once I've trimmed it all off, you can sort of see a bit better how much space I do and don't have around it. And on this side as well. And then turn that round, put it there. And let me just, there we go. So if I move that, you can see now that almost, let me see if I put a pen or a pencil line, see if it, oh, it does. That's so much better, isn't it? Let me pop that pen line just round so you can see just a little bit better how much space. Now this is how much space is the best to have. But again, you can see that I've only got a little bit at the top, but when I fold it, it's still going to fold over, and I've still got enough, just lift it a little bit, just at the top for me to work quite happily with. This tool is a book binding toolkit. I got mine from Craftalia, but you can get them on Amazon, you can get them on eBay, you can get them everywhere. Mine came with, just bear with me, these tools. So it's absolutely brilliant if you wanted to cover mount board, and you wanting to make albums, album covers, because technically I've created an album. the outside of an album with this. So that would be my spine, that would be the front, and that would be the back. But I've just obviously gone on to make something a bit different with it. But basically, it is sort of exactly the way that you would create an album. So this is a book binding toolkit, and all obviously the different bits have got, they all are absolutely brilliant. I'm going to use this in a minute. You just saw me use this, which is just perfect to trim all the way around your mount board that's on your pattern paper. So let me just grab another piece of mount board. So I've got another piece of mount board. I'm wanting a big piece of paper. I'm wanting to put this next to this, and I want to either use this in there, which means I've got an even space, an equal space all the way down. Or if I'm wanting to line that up and this, what you're going to do is you're going to bring in this tool and it's going to line it up there and there. So when you bring this next piece of mount board in to glue it down, it's all equal. It's not a little bit jaunty. And then you glue it down, stick it all together, and Bob's your uncle. So it's a great kit, it really is. I love it. I'm going to make one for my neighbour ladies. It's lovely, isn't it? And again, just changing the paper up. Is this on mine's here, look? This reminded me of the kitchen window. If you were wanting to gift cards in it, or if someone just loves, the Japanese style, obviously changing your paper up just really makes it look so different. Still beautiful with the colours popping. Thank you. Oh, message retracted. I love it when I see one of them. Vicky Johnson, hello. Laura, hello. Just getting other bits finished off before I popped in. Right, so you pop, I mean, if I turn it round, you can see that you've got this bit here. You can see it there, can't you? It sits over your mount board. Butt it right up both sides, and then with your craft knife, you're going to cut that corner away. And this just means there's no fiddling measuring. You don't need to bring your ruler in and mark an inch there and an inch there, and then, with your pencils, you're just doing it easy with this. And then, so I'm going to put those 4 corners away, which means that it's going to cover up and fold round really lovely. But if I do that now, if I fold this out, let me do it on the other side because I've got more to show you. If I bring this one over, I have to tuck that in. So you have to tuck that in to bring that over to give you a nice straight edge. So what we're going to do is either with this, I like to use my metal ruler just because this is what I'm used to using. So we're going to bring your metal ruler in, you're going to line it up against that mount board, and here, where your corner is, from the mount board to the edge, we're just going to snip. And if I turn it the other way around, and making sure it's nice and buttered up to that mount board, we're going to, and then we're just going to move that corner. Can you see? So now when I fold both those over, I don't need to worry about tucking the paper in to give me a nice edge, because it's going to do it for me. So we're going to do all the other sides. Make sure you've got a nice sharp blade, or not a blunt blade for this. You want nice corners, none of that fraying. Oh, that's just going to pop out like that. And then do the other 3 sides. Can you see how that corner just popped out? Have I done them all? This one, last one. There we go. So now, when I fold that over, there's no paper hanging over that I need to tuck down. And when I bring that over, you have got the sharpest edge. So it's always worth, I think, taking that little bit of extra time to do that. And then it's just nice. It's just all clean, beautiful, sharp edges. You can see there's nothing sort of bulging out, no ugly, unsightly bits. So we're going to stick this down. And I'm going to use, I haven't been using my red liner tape as much. And I think to myself, is it because I'm just trying to save time? But I've had a bit of a play with just glue, with glue and red liner tape. And I've got to say, I think if I'm selling this or gifting it, I like to add the red liner tape because I want to know in myself that this is nice and secure and it's not going anywhere. So as long as you've got a really good glue, then I wouldn't worry too much about the red liner tape. But adding this and then putting my glue on, it's just so much quicker. So I'm going to make sure you burnish those down, because that red liner tape always wants to come off when you take the carrier sheet off. Right. Just going to have a look. I love the Zen Garden collection. Can't wait for mine. It's on its way, Betty. I can't type words incorrectly today. That's why I retracted my message. I'm sorry. I'll call you out on it. I can't help it. I'm like, you have to give me the goss. Did you accidentally insult someone? Did you accidentally type a swear word? I'd just like to know. So what I'm going to do is, now I've got my glue on, and remember, we need to get glue right up to the edge of that mount board. So when we fold it over that way, and then we fold it flat, it's glued on this top bit as well, or this side bit. So you need to make sure that that's glued. Now, can you see how it just fits? I made sure that I put a line on the back. I made sure that because I knew that was going to be there, because I knew that I wouldn't have enough to sort of fold it over, but I actually really like that. I don't mind that at all. So I'm going to do top and bottom, and then I'm going to do the two sides. So again, I'm just using the desk to allow me to get some good pressure on there when I fold it over so it sticks. They have this all over, different places, different companies. I know I got this from Craftily website, but I know you can get it from Craftily on Amazon. So they do it on there as well. There's lots of different ones. I think Helen Griffin, I think she released her own, because I know she does lots of album making and box making. So I think so that'll be on Craft Stash. I don't know if it's in stock. I'm pretty sure that she had one. But again, they're quite generic now. You can buy them from all over. What are the tools called again? It's a bookbinding tool set. So again, using the desk to allow me to get good pressure on that. And then that's my other piece. Just make sure that that's stuck down. So can you see all four corners are so nice? There's no tucking in, because we take that little square away. It's just absolutely perfect. So I'll get rid of some of this mess. Mary, hello. At Salem, Oregon. Very nice. Sue Thomas, hello. I didn't see you sneak in. Um, just joined us. I'm looking after my smallest grandson who's now gone home to mum. Oh, right, let me put that. Right, so what I've got now, I've very quickly made a huge mess, haven't I? So what you can see I've got now is this is going to be my back, this is going to be my front, and this is going to be the base. Now, if I was making an album, what you would find me doing is, I mean, I'd be doing it that way. And then I'd be gluing sort of that there and that there, but we're not making an album. All we're doing different is we're just doing it that way. So I still need to glue it in exactly the same way. You're not doing anything different. Still gluing it in exactly the same way, just we're gonna stand it different, and that's really it. So all I'm doing now is I'm making sure that the top of both of my designs are to the outsides, so I don't get all upside down and inside out. This piece I've done exactly the same, but all I've done is I've glued those two pieces down because I don't need them, but I haven't glued these over because this is going to be the tab that glues onto here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that right up next to there. I'm going to pop some glue on it in a second, and then I'm going to just pop it over there. And one of the brilliant things about using this tool is I know all my edges are nice and straight, and it's exactly 3/4 of an inch there and 3/4 of an inch there. So when I'm bringing this over, okay, I can see that I'm gluing it on straight because it's following this straight edge. Because it can, it's very easy to go the tiniest little bit wonky when you're doing this. But because I've got that visual there to follow, I'm okay. So I can fold that back on itself, and I'm going to apply the glue here. And again, I could put some red liner tape on there if I wanted, but you have to be good, because if you do it with your red liner tape and you do slip a little bit, you're going to come a little bit unstuck. So I tend to just use just some wet glue. It means that if I go a little bit wonky, I can just pull it apart and put it back together. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make sure that the glue is evenly spread all along that edge. And then we're going to butt it up exactly like I said, make sure that we're lining the top and the bottom up, and holding them nice and still, bring that over. And can you see how you can see how it's glued nice and straight? So we're just going to give that a second, just to grab enough that I can pick this up and turn it over. So you can see I've got that lovely straight edge, even edge all the way up and down. So we're going to give that another second because this collal does take a little bit longer to fully grab. So I'm going to turn it round. Bring this one to that side. Yeah, it's the right way up. It is a great tool, Betty, and it just, they're not expensive, and any tool that makes it easier or makes us able to do something that we maybe wouldn't have been able to do before, I love it. Isn't it funny how you start out with a clean desk, 15 minutes later, you're working in a 6-inch square? Oh my God, absolutely. I mean, my desk, it's a nice big desk, but you wouldn't think so with this tiny little square that I'm sort of stuck into. Clarice, hello. Just sneaking a peek on my way to work, but we'll re-watch later. Love this project. Well, hello for the few minutes that we've got you. So again, exactly the same thing. I'm making sure that this is nice and folded back. you can see that these are going to butt right up. And then once I've glued it, I can pop them together. So I'm just going to make sure that that glue goes up to the edge, but not over. Pop them together. And then bring that over. And you can see again, I've got that lovely visual there that's allowing me to make sure that it's nice and straight. But what you've also got is, you know, those corners that we cut away, those little squares that we cut out, that also here, it's nice and straight here as well, because we've used those tabs to glue these two together. So if they're not straight, you've either cut like the hind leg of a donkey, or you haven't got your piece on nice and straight. So I'm going to turn that over, and I'm going to make sure I'm having a look, making sure that it's nice and straight, and it is. So I'm really happy with that. So if this was my album now, this is how it would be sitting. So you can see it, but obviously it's not. We're going to sit it like this, but we're still going to decorate it sort of the same, just remembering where our tops and bottoms are. So I'm going to turn that way. And then you're always going to want to add another piece in here to cover these. Now I've got some white paper here, and it's a 200 GSM. You don't want, if you've got 220, that would probably be okay. I don't go any higher. But don't go any higher, because then it adds too much. You've got the fear of making it too stiff, so when you're wanting it to fold in and out, it's not gonna. And then when you've got a thicker card, sort of opening and folding, because we're going to score in here, it's you've got more chance of it ripping sort of here and here. So for me, a 200 GSM is absolutely the best. But what I am going to do first is, where this meets here, I'm going to pop red liner tape down both sides. And obviously make sure that you're not going right to the edge, because the piece of paper I've got is 5 inches wide. So I've got it 5 inches wide because I wanted to make sure that it sort of just covered the middle bits. And I've got it 5 3/4 this way, because I don't want it right up to the edge. So I've just got that little bit smaller. So when you pop in your red liner, remember not to go right up to the edge. Oh, it's all twisted now. Right, there we go. So pop that on there. And the red liner tape down these edges means you've not got as much chance of. So when we've got this on, if you've not got glue right up to the edge and you try to fold this, it's going to bow out or pop out or bulge up, and you don't want that. And then just on these two sides as well. I can't keep hold of this red liner tape today. Go, last one. There we go. Again, burnish that down. Don't do what I do and get carried away talking to someone at this point. Pop glue on here and then put it over without taking your liner off. I've done that many times. Matthew Cox, hello. Sorry you're late. What have you missed? Not much. We had a bit of a chat. And then all I've done is, with the mount board, we've just created, wait a minute, the outside of this. But I think if you go back, you'll see how I did it. I think you probably know, because I think you've seen some of my other tutorials, haven't you, Matt? So we're just going to have a little bit of a fight with the red liner for a minute. There's me saying burnish it really well, and then doesn't burnish it really well. But as my mum used to say, do as I say, not as I do. There we go. It always comes off straight away, first time, when no one's watching me. There we go. And then I'm going to add the glue to this, because then I know exactly where the edge is. If I try to add it here, I'm sort of guessing where the edge of this is going to meet. Lynn, another late one. Oh, well, welcome anyway. We will let you off. So again, with this, we need to make sure it's right up to all these edges. And there's enough glue at the points on here that are going to match here. So holding it over. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop it at a certain point here. So I've got an inch mark there and an inch mark there. So I know this card needs to go to that one and that one an inch over. So I can use the lines on my mat to make sure that I'm getting it just where I want it. And then we give it a good burnish. So I'm going to bring this in. Need to make sure that, again, where it's going to fold is burnished really, really well. All those edges. And what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to attempt to fold it yet. I'm going to let that glue dry. The temptation is to do it straight away. I'm going to let that glue dry first. You know, there's red liner tape in there as well, but that wet dry needs to dry. Wet glue needs to dry. So I'm going to pop that to the side, because then what we're going to do is I'm just going to have a quick check of my messages. Make sure that there's no one else late. Barbara, it's hard to tell, but did you put a strip of red liner tape on either side of the flap edge? I did, absolutely. So the red liner tape here, where the middle meets the outside, I put red liner tape on there, yeah. Right, so while those are there and it's drying, we're going to do those side pieces, so the concertina bits. So I've got 2 pieces of card, and they're 3 inches by 6 inches. You can have these as tall as you want. I've gone 3 inches high. If you want it higher or taller, then that's entirely up to you. And I've done this 6 inches wide, and I've scored it at 1/2 inch increments all the way across, because that's, you don't need really you can have really deep gussets if you want, but because we're going to add some card that goes all the way over, you don't need to. So we're going to be gluing that onto here, and then the other side is going to glue, or it's going to glue to the other side. But obviously I'm going to show you that now. So what I'm going to do, I've got all my 1/2 inch scores, and what I do, the easiest way I found this to get my so let me just, to get all those equal, because sometimes when you're scoring and burnishing, these are not even. So the easiest way I found to do it is I'm just going to fold all of them just like this. I'm just going to score that line, but I'm not going to burnish it. I'm not going to go in with my bone folder and really burnish each one. I'm not going to do that yet. I'm going to just add that score all the way Oh, there we go. And I haven't burnished any of it. And then I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to fold them all back on themselves. And again, just nice and not loads of extra pressure, just normal scoring that line we've got in there. I don't want a real sharp edge on these. So you can see I just folded them back and forth. And then all I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring my concertina in. And you can see that it's absolutely perfect. You've got that lovely concertina. Oh, you can see it just there, can't you? It's even here and it's even there. Now, if I wanted to really burnish that, what I would do is, because it's here like that, and because I know that they're all exactly the same size, I can come in now and I can just go over the top with my bone folder and really add some nice crisp lines there, but I don't need to, because it's going to be sort of opening and closing, and I really don't need to have that extra burnishing on there. Right, so what you've got then next is I've got 5 pieces of card and they're exactly the same height as these, which is 3 inches. They're as wide as my album is, which is the 6 inches. And then I've trimmed a tiny little bit. I think I've trimmed 1/8 of an inch off, because by the time that this is sat on each side of my album and I've popped these in the middle, that 1/8 of an inch is going to make these go over the edges. So what we're doing next is literally just gluing these in. So decide which one you are doing it on. Do you know, I used to use black and you couldn't see what I'm doing. And now I've got a dodgy light. You can't see with the white. So this this piece here is going to glue onto my album. So let's bring it in. Let me turn it over for you. Imagining this is the inside. It's going to glue there. Okay. And then when this comes up, that side is going to glue here. And it's going to be exactly the same on this side. So we're going to glue those 2 pieces in like that. But before we do, I'm going to turn this over, and I'm quite happy with how the length of time that I've left it to dry. And as I'm going to be bringing this up, I'm going to be using my bone folder to gently just pop that in. So that's going to go in as that comes up. And then you've got a lovely, nice, clean, crisp fold in there. I'm going to do exactly the same on this side. As I'm using my bone folder, we're going to bring it up. There we go. Let me just bring it round, burnish that a little bit more. So what you've got now is you've got that lovely, clean, crisp fold. It's not bowing out because we've got red lining tape and glue and we've left it to dry. Oh, I'm back. My granddaughter turned up. Good job I'm saving this. It is a good job. So we put it there. This here is going to get glue on it and it's going to be glued here. This bit is entirely up to you. You can glue that piece in and then glue your strips on, but I'm not going to do it that way. We're going to do it an easier way for you to see. So remembering this is the bit that I'm going to glue into my my bow. So the next one, I'm going to glue my card to, and then obviously not that because it's the opposite side. So you're going to glue one piece there, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, because this last piece is going to glue to the other side. Okay, so it's going to glue on there. And again, depending on how big you are making this, You know, if you want it a lot wider, then you can add more of these if you want. So I'm going to glue that. So you're going to miss sort of that first half an inch, and we're going to line this up with that first score line, and we're going to pop it on there. And we're just going to make sure that that folds over nice. And then bring that back up. Can you see how I've just glued it to that first one? Spring. Let's get it to spring again. There you go. So then the next one's going to go on there, and then the next one's going to go on there. Once you've got that first one in, it's very easy to just find and follow as you go in. So let's bring that over there. So again, you're going to miss that one, you're going to glue it on there. You're going to miss one, you're going to glue it on there. So pop some glue. And then you've got that score line that you can line this up to, so you know that it's almost like creating a weird spine for in your album, you know, when you're creating your spine for your actual pages. So again, let me. So can you see how it's coming together? Hey, Michelle. Hello, Michelle, and it's for you. How are you? Did you have a good Christmas? So we're going to, again, you can see as it's going, you're going to miss one, you're going to glue onto one. So let's pop that down. And then pop the next one on. So that's all I'm going to do for these next 3 pieces of card. Again, I'm using the wet glue because it just allows me to pop it on and make sure that it's nice and straight. Wiggle it into place. She says as she pulls it out of out of line. So again, there you go. You can see exactly how it's coming together. So simple. And then I just need to finish putting those other 2 on. Again, pop some glue on there. So the husband's in the room shopping for a new light for me for my craft area. He loves lights. He's a little bit, well, I don't know. My daughter bought him for Christmas a little lantern, you know, like those old fashioned lanterns. You got the little knob where it would have been kerosene back in the day, wouldn't it? And to turn it up and down, obviously it's batteries now. So any excuse for my husband to buy new lighting fixtures, anything like that. But we've all got the thing that excites us, haven't we? For my husband, it's light bulbs. Oh, you should see him in B&Q. We go into B&Q, and the first aisle I have to go down is the wallpaper one. The first aisle my husband has to go down is the one with light bulbs. So, you know, bless him. Falls. Have I got all my 5 pieces? Oh, I have. Have I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. I nearly stuck one where it didn't need to be then. So you can see that those are obviously the 5 partitions. This is going to glue now. If I bring this in, you can see how this is going to sit in. That side is going to glue to there, and that side is going to glue to there. Obviously, I'm going to pop the other side onto this first. We're going to bring that other side in, and then obviously they're going to go in between each, and that is that middle bit that I've created. Now you can create the full sort of little envelope type thing and glue them all together. But what I find when you do that is you've got all the edges showing here, and I think it looks a bit messy. So for me, this was the nicest, cleanest way to do it, because this side is going to be on show quite a lot and you want it to look nice. So if you create like 5 of these envelopes and then glue them together, because you've got those edges, I just didn't like that look, which is why I've gone for this way. Right, so let's get this glued in. I'll use my wet glue. So remembering that that first one is the one that's going to glue into the book. So we need to start at this one here. So let's pop some glue on there. And because this is my collal and it takes quite a while to go off, we're going to chance it and see if I can get them all in together. Right, so this is where you need sort of 3 or 4 hands. So bring that over, bring that in, and pop it down. Not put too much glue on there. You're going to bring this one in and pop that one there. Now, hopefully I've left that one long enough to grab. So it's grabbing lovely. So concertina those back up, bring that one in and sort of fold them together. The ones that have already got glue on. So let's bring this next one in, and again. So there we go. So let's sort of squish it down at both sides. And then that is what you've got. So simple. So just those 5 pieces and your 2 sides. It can be a little bit fiddly. But when you've done it once, you sort of like, yeah, now I know how to pop it in. I love this. It would make a great gift. It absolutely would. Do you add paper to the inside before or after you glue those in? I'm going to glue these in and then I'm going to add my pattern paper over the top. I mean, again, you can put them in that way and you can put your pattern paper on and then put that over the top. As long as all your edges are nice and straight, then it doesn't really matter. But I like to cover my tabs if I can. So those are going to glue in and then I'm going to put my pattern paper over the top. Right, so I'm going to bring this in. I think this is the fiddliest bit because you need to glue those 2 sides in and then you need to bring this over. And when you're bringing this over, that's as hard and as fiddly as it gets. And it's really not that hard or fiddly. That made no sense at all, but you know exactly what I mean. Right, so glue on this one and that one. I'm just going to spread that out. And then I'm going to, whichever you find easier to do, I'm going to do this side here. So I'm going to leave that up in the air just for a second. And I'm going to leave the tiniest sliver between the bottom of this and here, just so when it folds, it doesn't get caught on the bottom. So let me just turn that round. And so I'm going to just bring that over a bit, because if you remember, I said I haven't cut these 6 inches wide. I've gone just under. so it leaves a little border at each side. That's like glue's dried on this side a bit while I was messing about. So you can just fold it back out. A little bit of glue, fold it back under, and I'm not too bothered about making a mess with the glue on the back of this because we're going to cover it up, remember. So excuse me, keep turning it round a million times. But I just want to make sure, there we go, that I've got it evenly spaced. So I've got a sliver of this showing at that side, can you just see, and the same here. So let me just hold that. I'm going to bring this up and make sure that I've not gone too far down, because it's I mean, I can see that score line really, really well. You obviously can't see it as well as I can. So can you see? I'll bring it round now. It's bang in the middle for me. And all we need to do now is put some glue on there, and then we're going to bring it up. We're going to stretch it out. And then we can glue it to this side. So we're going to bring those up. Why is mine going wonky? There we go. Just needed teasing into place a little bit. Right, so again, glue on there, and then glue on that one. Right. So stretch it right out. You can see it stretches out lovely. Grab that. Oh, it's just pulled off that side. Just let me bring that in. It's that this Kalal glue is absolutely brilliant. But it does take a while, especially because this is being pulled, to really go off. Once it does, it's solid as a rock. So I'm just going to press both those sides, make sure that they're nice and secure before I pull this fourth side up. So I'm not too worried about if the glue has dried, because I can pop some more on. It's not a problem. Bring it in. My fingers just aren't long enough to fit in there. Come on. There we go. I got it, I think. Oh, you've come off. Oh, don't you start. So I know it looks all wavy in the middle. It will do for a second. It all needs sort of stretching into place, which I don't want to do yet because I want to let that glue dry totally. But what you will find is until that glue has dried fully, this is going to want to come in that way, and that's going to want to come out that way. Just allow the glue to really dry and make sure you've got it exactly where you want it before you start to manipulate those into place. So I'm going to pop that to the side just to allow that glue to go rock solid, but that is it really. I will do the insides with some pattern paper in a minute. Again, I want that glue to really dry well. But if I bring you this one in, just open it up, you can see, oh, I've got a pen in there. Where that pen had gone. You can see you do have a little bit of a bow on it. Just, I think, to be fair, that's a small or lower GSM. Or is it a higher one? I don't know. It's my textured cardstock. But you can see that once you've allowed it to dry, it sits really, really well. So let's pop that to the side. And just while that one's drying, as it's joined, I'm going to get a quick drink of my tea. Deborah Spencer, hello. Greetings from Texas. Oh, waiting with the hubby at the doctor's. Well, I hope everything's all right. Well, I've come to the conclusion I'm sticking with cards. You could absolutely attempt it, Lynn. You absolutely could. What you need to do is you need to have a play with your scrap paper and card at creating one, because then you've got no pressure on yourself to make it work really well or make it work perfectly first time. So this one's probably going to be for you then, Lynn, because I'm going to recreate it, and I'm going to do it in just card, just to show you that it's just as effective, just as beautiful. Again, for people who are not quite ready to attempt mount board and things like that. So I don't know when you popped in, Gaz, but hello. Oh my God, I'm so sorry I'm late. So rude, Gaz. Need some clips to hold it in place. I've tidied up. I've got my little tub of clips and everything, and they're somewhere. But yes, you know, in lieu of forehands, use some little bulldog clips or something like that. That looks like a tiny cup lot. It's not. I think this is even bigger than my other one that you saw the other day. This is huge. This is my, you can't see it. It says mug of positivity. So this is my mug for tea. Right. So Lynn, just for you, this one. No confidence is my problem. It absolutely is. I'm going to use cereal boxes for yours. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Right. So we're going to do exactly the same-ish, but with just card, no mount board. So you can see I've got my 2 pieces of card already concertinaed. I've got my 5 pieces that are going to go in the middle. I've got my little note that's reminding me to glue that inside after I've added my concertina pieces, so I don't forget. Right, so what we've got now, I've got 2 pieces of card, and this way, yeah. So you've got 11 inches by 6 inches, because I've got a score line here. And I've got a score line at 3 inches. So that gives me the 8 by the 6. So exactly the same as the other album. So you want 2 of those pieces. I'm going to score those. We're going to really burnish that score line on these, because these are going to be the base. And then all we're going to do with these 2 is we're going to glue that base together. I've doubled the base up because obviously it adds that extra strength. So straight away I've got 3 and 3, so I've got 600 GSM there. But before I do glue those 2 pieces together, we're going to decorate the outsides. Now I've gone different on this. I've gone with my original Zen Garden Dreams. And what I've done is, so I've got a piece of, I'll bring you the separate ones in. Again, I just did that to save time. I've got a piece of card. So remember, we've got 6 by 8. So I've gone down 1/4 of an inch. Fold that under. And that gives me that wide border. So that is 7 3/4 by 7 3/4. I've got another piece of white card. and I've gone down just 1/8 of an inch because I just want a thin pop of that blue coming through. So we've got 8 by 6, we've got 7 3/4 by 5 3/4, and then this is, let me just, yeah. This is 5 and I've wrote it down because I've gone from that 2 to that 1. Let me have a look. So we've got so we've got 8 by 6, then we've got 7 3/4 by 5 3/4. Now actually I tell a lie because I've changed it. So that is 5 5/8 by 7 5/8. So it's just very easy. You're going to go down 1/4 of an inch on your measurements with that one. And for this one, you're going to go down 3/8 of an inch. And then I thought I'd keep it nice and clean and simple in line with these. So I've got a matten layer. So it's 4 by 6. And then I've gone down, as you can see, if I pop it down, you can see better, 1/8 of an inch. It's entirely up to you how big of sort of a border that you leave coming through. I wanted to do a quite clean and simple one, very, very much the opposite of this one. So that's why I'm just having that tiny pop of blue coming through because a little bit of a pop, it breaks up all of that white, but you've still got a real sense of clean and simple going on. Have to rewatch Started Laundry earlier and need to stay on top of it. Oh, you're better than me. Oh God, definitely. I hate laundry. What are you drinking? It's caramel tea. Which if you're looking and thinking that's a bit of a weak looking tea, it's caramel tea, so it's not supposed to look as strong as a builder's brew. Right, so gluing just mats and layers for this one. So let's pop that on there. Making sure that it's nice and even. Sorry, I'm just trying to read messages. I've hunted all our local craft shops to find large paper clips and nothing. Where am I? Can I see them offhand? No. I either paper clips or at Christmas, the pound shops or the dollar stores, they always do um those little packs. It's a load of string, isn't it? And it's got all those tiny little wooden pegs, to hang your Christmas cards up with on your walls. That's what I got. I got loads of those from the cheap shop because the pegs are just brilliant and work for when you're creating box bases, box lids, tricky things like I was just doing. Pop that on there so you can see just that sliver of blue. Keeping lots of that white makes it so much more clean and simple. It looks like milk to me. So it's a Twinings tea bag and it's caramel tea, and it never really gets dark in colour, but it's really tasty. So there we go. So let's do the other one. So you can see that I've already got that one made. So that's going to go on there. So let's just pop that on quickly. And I've got my bottom folded up. So I'm remembering not to put this in the middle of here rather than in the middle of just what is going to be the front when the base is folded away. Okay. So I'll pop this one on. Have them next to each other because it allows you to really judge that you're getting them sort of exactly the same. And then this one, this is a panel from the Cherry Blossom, so the Zen Garden Dreams, but the Cherry Blossoms one. And then we're just going to pop that one in the middle of there. So this one is so much easier to throw together, especially if you're not as confident in your abilities. Okay. And then finally that. And again, both panels are from that Cherry Blossom. We are talking about paper clips and pegs now. Oh, Emma's just put, I got some from the supermarket in the stationery section. Yes. Yes, I did. I think that's where I got my rose gold. I just got some rose gold ones. They had this whole section of rose gold stuff. I think there was a normal pack of paper clips was about £1. Because they were rose gold, I think they were £3. But I had to have them. Just because it was a different colour, it was like twice the price, which is usually the case, isn't it, I suppose? Right, so that's my front and back. Very easily done. Then what we're going to do is we're going to pop those together, and it's absolutely nearly finished. So let me glue. It doesn't matter which one goes on the top or the bottom, but what I tend to do is whichever's going to be the front. Let me decide. So it's going to be the front. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue the back on top. Sorry. So we're going to glue the back on top or on the inside. So my fold at the front doesn't have that join line. The fold at the back has the join line. Again, because it's the front, it just makes it cleaner and more finished. So that's it. That's how much quicker and easier is it to do it this way than it is the other way. Now, what you can do is exactly the same thing. We're going to pop those either on either side, sorry, and then I knew it was going to happen. And then when we bring the sides up, glue it to the front and glue it to the back. Or I just had a bit of a thought, to be honest. If you don't want that concertina effect in the middle, you could just put a little gift box in the bottom. So almost like just a box base, and you could have that in the middle. And then you don't have to worry about all the shall I do one? So you don't have to worry about all those concertina bits. And it still sort of has the same effect. So let's do that. A bit of a different idea, but makes it obviously so much easier for as a more beginner one. I think it would make a great gift bag. Absolutely. Right. So I'm going to scribble something down, which is going to make sense to no one but me. Because my box, this is how I always create my boxes. I do little squiggles so you can see I've literally just drawn a square, because I know it needs to be 6 inches by 3 inches. So it needs to be 6 inches by 3 inches. And then how tall do I want it? So we're going to go 3 inches tall. So as daft as this sounds, look, that's all I've done to work it out. My box is 6 inches wide, and my walls need to be 3 inches and 3 inches. And then I've done the same on that side. That's as simple as it gets, isn't it? So then I add it up. So you've got 6. So you've got 12 by 9. So I need a 12 by 9 piece of card. So let me get a piece of card. So I've got a white piece of card to match. I'm going to bring in this that's hidden under everything. And I know I only need to cut one side down to 9 inches. There we go. That was nice and simple, wasn't it? Let's pop that to the side. So bring this in. No, my sides are all going to be 3 inches high. So we're going to just score at 3 inches, all 4 sides. So we're just making a box base or a box lid. So the hardest thing about the concertina one is it's just a little bit fiddly because you've got that concertina, it just keeps popping out of your hands. Right, that's it. My box base or my box lid. We're going to score all of these. I'm just scanning through the comments while I'm just scoring. I like this adapting as the idea comes to mind. It's very much, yeah. The thing is, I saw that Lynn had struggled a little bit, so I thought, actually, let's, on the simpler one, we'll make it a little bit simpler, but still as fabulous. We're going to do it exactly how we do a box. So I'm going to, I always take my little wedge away. So my flappy bit is going to glue onto the long side. So I'm going to do the same with this one because I want my flappy boat, all 4 of them, to glue on to the long side, because then with those edges, there's going to be less resistance if we want to squeeze the top of our album together. But I'll show you exactly what I mean as I pop it together. So this is a 200 GSM that I'm using for this. You might actually find it easier to use a lower GSM for your concertina bits. Again, have a bit of a, fold this, have a little bit of a play. Because that 300 GSM can be quite stiff, as you saw, and didn't want to do as it were told. Just flatten that. There we go. So let me just get rid of those. So you can see now what I mean about both, all 4 of my tabs are going to glue onto this bit, because obviously these are going to be the side bits. Now what you can do here is, like when we create gift bags and we score down the edges or the sides so it will close at the top, pop a little bit of a score line down there. So where are we? Like 1.5 inches. So I'm not going to go all the way down. I'm going to go sort of 3/4 of the way down, just to that first score line. So you don't need to go all the way to the bottom. So I've gone to roughly about there, and my score line is there. And then just give that a little bit of a teasing, because then when we bring all this is where I need my pegs, isn't it? All this together, we've just got that base. But what's going to happen now, because I've put that score mark in, we can just gently squeeze it a little bit. So we're still going to be able to, it's not going to have to sit straight all the way up. We're still going to be able to squeeze it in a little bit. So let's get those tabs glued when I find it. Glue everywhere. I mean, if you really wanted to, because it's going to be sat inside there, you could cut your tabs down if you wanted. Just have like an inch tab, so just cut it to there. I've already gone in with the glue, so it doesn't, I'm not going to do it, but you absolutely could, because I don't think it really makes much of a difference. Because it's going inside. Besides, I think adding extra GSM, so extra weight, so making this a lot more sturdy once this is in there. So there we go. Got that nice box base now, and because we've got those two little score lines, it's just going to sort of follow itself, and you don't need to score all the way to the bottom. There we go. So let's pop it in. So bring this in, and I'm going to glue it in, and then see how easy that is. So just gluing that bottom. And then you pop it in. Just making sure we've got it correct and in the middle. So I'm just gonna hold it down. Again, letting that glue and grab. Now you could have, if you wanted, which is my back, I can't remember now, you could glue it to the back if you wanted. So just the front flap falls down. So it would sort of look like that when open. Or you can have it where they both fall open. That is definitely, I think if you were going to have it as a recipe box or something like that, you would, I think, I'm going to keep the back glued up. So it's not going to affect any of that. It just means the front's going to fall open. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to add glue just to that bit. And then bring it over. And making sure that it's pushed right into that corner. I quite like this different style. Yes, like a milk carton fold, definitely. That's how I do my boxes. Brain fog is a nightmare, and I wanted to simplify it for myself. You mean the dodgy little, the little drawing? The thing is, when you see it in front of you, sometimes you're trying to add it up, and it's very simple numbers, but sometimes just write it down. It just allows you to figure it out so much easier. So I can now have this a little bit further open if I want. I know that I can bring it all the way closed, and you don't have to score all the way to the bottom. My score line finishes there. So it's sort of roughly the 2-inch mark. And then that's the front that's just going to fall open. So I'm going to bring in, so this is from the background. So the Zen Garden Dreams, but this is the background. So I've got the cherry blossom on the outside. I've got the backgrounds on the inside. I'm just going to mat and layer that together. And the same as in the concertina one, what I'm going to do is that's going to go in there, and it's going to cover that join. So if I bring this one in, So all I need to do now is have a bit of a play with those and manipulate them, because I have used a 300 GSM, so it's quite stiff. But then I do exactly the same. So if I just lean that for you, my paper is going to go in, it's going to go over those tabs, and then it covers them up and it makes it nice and clean in there. I'm not going to put that one in because it's the wrong paper. We'll just pop it into this one. So the only thing I will say is, if you find that if you've done the concertina one and it is those pieces that are going across the middle, you need to make sure that they are that little bit shorter, because my album's 6 inches wide. By the time I've got my tabs on, you're talking about maybe 1/8 or 2/8 of an inch shorter. So if you've cut those pieces of card 6 inches wide, it's not going to fit. So actually, what I did with my first one, and what you might find easier, is glue your concertina bit on both sides, okay? And then bring your pieces in, slot them in, and you know which piece that you're gluing it to, slot it in and glue it, or slot it in first. If it really makes it bow, you know it's a little bit too long or wide, so trim a tiny little bit off, put it back in, so you can see if I pull that out, it's nice and straight, because I've not glued them to the base. Because if you glue it to the base, they're not gonna be able to move as freely as they need to. So what we're doing, we're popping this in here, aren't we? So this piece is going to glue in exactly the same, whether you've done the concertina or you've just created that little box. It's just going to slip in there. And just making sure that my border's the same all the way around, nice and straight, which it is. Pop your hand in. Give it a burnish, and then I'm going to pop this other panel on that side. I have so many ideas now for this. Thanks, Michelle. Oh, I'm glad. The thing is, even if what I've done, you're not going to go away and create, but it's inspired you to do something, or you thought, oh, actually, what I could do is, and then you go off and do it, then my job is done. Or if you go away and you recreate it, exactly, that's also, my job is done. Right. So making sure that I've got that pattern the right way up. Put that on there. Now, what I would do, obviously, I'd cut another matten layer for that, but because I wasn't planning on doing that, I don't have one. But it really doesn't matter. You can keep it nice and white if you want, or if you're doing this one, that is where you could put, Nana's recipe book, or mum's recipes, or whoever you're gifting it to, Susan, Sharon. I don't know why I'm going through all the S's, Lynn's, Laura's recipes, or Laura's secret stash on this bit here, because we've all got those tags and those tab dies and things like that. So then you gift it to whoever, they're going to open it up, it's going to have their name there. And it's just a lovely gift. On this one, what I did was I used my crocodile. So I could, I've got those holes to thread this through. You could create a faux buckle over the front if you wanted to. You could just use a bulldog clip at the top. You could just wrap some ribbon round it. It's entirely up to you. Those finishing elements I don't tend to do on my lives, because there's a million different ones. I normally reel them all off for you, because we all like to finish our things off different, don't we? But for this one, so I love that. I told you it reminds me of the kitchen window. For this one, I'm definitely going to put some embellishments. I'm going to pop some flowers on. It doesn't matter that I've finished all that. Well, I haven't. I need to put my papers in there. Again, let me see if I can show you. Pull that one. Wait, can you see that one? See, when I pull them out, it straightens up. So just because it's a 300 GSM, it's just a little bit stiffer. So if you were going to use those sides, the concertina sides, I would definitely go for the 200 or 220-ish GSM, because I think that's what my textured cardstock is. It's not resisting so much when it's a lower GSM, because they just need pulling. See, if I pull that one, you can see that they go straight. So I'm going to well embellish that one up. This one, I'm not. I'm going to keep it nice and clean and simple, but it works perfectly with these, doesn't it? So actually, if you were just wanting to gift someone some notelets, you're going to put your cards in there, you're going to put your handmade envelopes in there, you put a little pen in there, some little tags, whatever you want. So, and then again, it can be more than just that recipe gift box if you want. If I bring all three of them in, you can see how different you can create them, just obviously just by swapping and changing your papers. But so this is the Vintage Hearts in Bloom. Is it in Bloom? Let me have a look. Vintage. I had a front here a minute ago, didn't I? Vintage Romance, Hearts in Bloom. So that's the framed one. That's the Blossoms from the Zen Garden Dreams. And that is the main one from the Zen Garden Dreams. So I'll get all those finished and then popped up on my page for you to all have a look at. Second Chance Crafting, it's Michelle's latest release. I love that Oriental paper. Thank you very much. If you pop over to my Facebook page, you can see all of my different papers in albums. So if you wanted to buy any, pop over there and have a look. Or you can email me. And don't forget, I've still got that, what's it called? Raffle running. So for those of you who don't know, or for those of you who are sort of new to me, I've got a raffle running at the minute, and you can win sort of all of my back catalogue. So there's 41 different paper pads. You can either win the whole set in a 12 by 12, the whole set in the A4, which is this. These are my A4 pads, because they've got that 8 by 8 on, and then they've got two little toppers that are 2 by 3. And then the third prize is all the papers, pads in a 6 by 6. So if you're fancying having a go at that raffle, that's running for at least until my next release, which is the beginning of February. We're nearly in February already. Can you believe it? My gosh. It'll be Christmas soon. I just see it. Second Chance Crafting. Hello from Virginia. Welcome. All three are stunning. Thank you very much, Matthew. Lynn, gorgeous. Love the watercolours. They're so lovely. Just beautiful. Now that I watch, I can't wait to make one. So yes, so definitely learn from my mistake. Well, that's what I'm here for, isn't it? These concertina pieces, I used textured cardstock, and it's a 200 GSM. On this one, I used my 300 GSM cardstock, and it's a lot stiffer. I mean, it's eventually going to play for me once I give it a telling off. It's definitely going to play for me. I definitely would have cut these a little bit shorter as well, because even though I'd cut them short enough, because the card is so stiff, it's resisting against itself in all ways. So definitely use a lower GSM to create those concertinas, or not confident enough to do that, then just pop a box in the middle. It's like if all else fails, put a butterfly on it, doesn't it? If all else fails, shove a box in the middle. Um, that one's great for Valentine's Day with papers. This one, yes. So that was my Valentine release. Those papers, I've got a few here, so I'll just quickly flick through them. So you've got all sorts of different ones, and then the main collection has got it's got a scene in the middle. It's like a picnic scene, a park scene, with husband and wife and wife, husband and husband, all with a beautiful little imagery in the middle. So those were my Valentine's releases. I just totally got distracted by a message. Someone said, "When does the red collection have to be paid in full, please?" And I just went off on a tangent of nothing that had anything to do with your question. So the red collection, which is my take on Red Riding Hood, um, that doesn't have to be paid until the release. So when I release them, so what um what is the first, excuse me, getting my phone out, I'm just looking at my calendar. Monday the 3rd of February is going to be the launch day for this red collection. And that is when the rest of the craft kit will be due. So if you pre-ordered one of those craft kits, that's when it's due on the release date. There's still plenty of time for you to pre-order one of those craft kits. So these are those boxes. But again, look at the rest of that paper on the inside. This is one of my all-time favorite collections that I've ever created. I think it's just absolutely gorgeous. You are going to love it. You are going to die for the craft kit, I promise you. I've ordered some bits. I'm going to create a fabulous project. I'm going to post it, and then you obviously will be able to see some of the bits that you're getting, but you're also going to be able to see what you can create with it. And then when you've got your kits and your collections, we'll do sort of a craft along. So I'll do a live like I am now, but you'll all have your stuff, so you'll be able to craft along with me, and we can all create either the same or your version of what I'm doing. And then we can share them across our group page, and it's exciting. um, Oh, good. I think I get a full paycheck next week, so I have time to get into the raffle. So, with regards to the raffle, it is £5 or $6 per ticket. Pay via PayPal, family and friends, because then I don't get that deduction, which it's about 50p, 60p for every £5. So I know it doesn't seem like a lot on £5, but when it's towards the raffle and someone's buying 5, 10, £20 worth of tickets, it's stupid. Charging me to use their service, how dare they? The box one, you can make folders for birthday. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Love the vibrant colours. Thank you very much. Raffle, yes. So my PayPal it's Ben's email address, which is mccarthy.ben@sky.com. My email is on here, so if you don't remember or you're not sure, email me, and I can give you that email address again, or pop over to my Facebook, and any questions that you've got, just ask. But again, I've gone off on a tangent from what I wanted to tell you. The raffle. So the raffle is subject to change purely because if I don't get enough money in to cover all the postages and just the basics, then it will change. But I'm hoping that it's going to go like through the roof, and I'm going to get enough, even if it's only enough just to cover it all. That's all that really matters. So yeah, it is subject to change, but fingers crossed. Even if it does change and I can't do first, second, and first prize. First, second, and first? First, second, and third prize. I mean, this is all on the post on my page. Whatever I change it to will still be an amazing prize. If for some reason it does have to change, and you don't want to stay in the raffle, then I'm happy to refund you your money. So you're not going to lose out either way. Either way, you're going to get the chance to win the whole back collection. If we don't get enough to cover it, we're still gonna do a fabulous prize. If you're not interested in that, then I'll just refund you your raffle money. So I think it's a win-win there, isn't it? Definitely. But don't forget my next release. We're all excited about Red, but my February release, because Red is the March release, so that is when your money will be due if you've got the craft kit. But my February release is another one of my absolute favourites. It's the Raven and the Writing Desk. So this is one of the main images from that. So this is the Raven and the Writing Desk, the main collection. And each one, I took the inspiration I've got some pictures on the wall in my living room, and it's this raven and it's roses and it's books and it's dark like this, and I love it. But so I took it a step further, and they've all got either really old-fashioned items with regards to like the gramophone, or a vintage typewriter, telephone, things like that. So a little bit exciting. This is the background papers that is going to come with this collection. And then this is the florals backgrounds. So there's something, I think, for everyone. If you want just a plain background, then I've got you covered. If you want a little bit of floral on there, I've got you covered. So this is going to be the February release. So in the next couple of weeks, you're going to see Laura posting some of her makes with this collection. I'm going to have a play with this collection. I've got someone new that I'm going to be introducing you to next week. Another friend who happily said that she was going to help me out just with some samples, things like that. Right, the husband's coming. Read your comments. Love the vibrant colours. Thanks, Michelle. Love the red collection. Glad I pre-ordered. Oh, someone remind me, I want to go back to that comment. Can't wait for red. How do I see what's in red? You don't yet. So I know that it's a pre-order box. So it's a pre-order craft kit. What you are going to get in there, you are going to get a 12 by 12 paper pad, and you're going to get a 6 by 6 paper pad. And then all my craft kits are different each time. So there's so ribbon, flowers, all your ephemera, all sort of different bits and bobs. My Christmas ones had little pom-poms in. Some of them had little, those round wood slices that you can get. It has all sorts in it. But I like to think that there's a little bit different to just your normal gems that you stick on, just some normal flowers that you can use. I mean, I love gems and flowers, don't get me wrong. You'll find flowers in nearly all of the craft kits because a flower always looks amazing with everything. But this one is going to be, again, a little bit different. It's going to work really well. Let me see if I can find. Just bear with me. It's going to work really well with the red collection. So this is one of the sheets. So you can see there's lots of sort of red and orange flowers running through. So I've picked some poppies to go with it because they're a bit different to using roses all the time. You can see that there's some lovely toadstools, there's a basket, there's these wooden logs. So I've taken my inspiration from the papers when I'm putting the craft kit together. This one is so exciting. This craft kit has even got, I think, because I've ordered some stuff and I'm gonna have a play with them, and what is going to go into it, I will then let you know. But I do ship to the US, absolutely. What would I say? Oh, I've got some little baskets that are going to go in. So we're going to make a beautiful scene. So we're going to be able to make a beautiful scene for the front of an album, for the front of just a box, for the front of, if you wanted to make a little sort of shelving unit, it's going to be fabulous. I've got some fabulous little mushrooms, woodland mushrooms. I've got some little baskets. I may even have ordered, and I'm not sure if they'll go in yet, some little, it's like a little log bundle. So you can really build a scene up, and really have different things on your cards, your boxes, your bags, whatever, than the normal flowers and gems. I've even ordered some faux leather strips and some of those, they're not a D-ring, are they? You know those, when you fasten your buckle and you sorry, your leather goes through it. I've even ordered some of them because I thought it'd be nice to make maybe a satchel, with an album in. So I had like a million ideas that would work so well with this collection. So the stuff that I've ordered to go with it are going to go amazing. I'm reading the daughter's come in. Read your comments. Betty, the Raven, can't wait. I've told all my crafty friends about your raffle. Thank you so much. So if they're not sure, tell them to just pop me a message or an email with regards to that. The raffle closes. Oh, that's what I was saying. So the raffle should close-ish the beginning of February. On my next release, which is The Raven and the Writing Desk. So apologies. I know I said red releases in February. I just got excited. So you're going to have to accept my apology, Laura. Red releases March. And it really and the reason that you can pre-order the box now is because I need to do pre-orders rather than buy everything in and maybe not sell as many boxes as the stuff I've got in, and then I'm sat on a lot of products. So I thought this year what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow you to pre-order. And then what it does, it means that I've got all those pre-orders. I know exactly how much product I need to buy. And then I can go buy it, and then I'm not out of pocket, and then I'm not out of sort of storage space, if that makes sense. So yes, Raven and the Writing Desk, February, red, March. So apologies. Or you thought you'd missed something similar to Alice? No, no. I ship to the US, and I ship to Canada. I've shipped to Australia. Don't ship to Europe, or I think it's Ireland now, because the rules have changed with regards to that, and it's made it so hard for someone like me to be able to ship there. So unfortunately, so hard and so expensive. You need like this. You need something signed, and you need to pay for it, and then it means that you can sell there, and you need someone to sponsor you as you sign off. It's ridiculous. Just reading it was confusing. But yeah, Canada's not been a problem except for the postal strike. Australia. Shannon, where can you buy my paper? So you can email me. My email's below this, Second Chance Crafting, or you can pop over to my Facebook page or my Instagram if you're on either of those. It's Michelle McCarthy Crafts on everything. So keep it nice and simple for me to remember, not anyone else. Do you have any craft boxes left from any of the previous collections? I think I've got one or two of the Egypt boxes left, and I've got a couple, two or three, something like that, of the Alice. But as for everything else, I'm done. Just those two left now. Red looks so fun to work with. Can't wait to see the whole collection. Oh, as soon as I've got my bits and I've created the project, I will share that even though it's gonna be way before, um, March. But you're gonna be seeing lots of this coming up as well because this is my February launch. Um, oh, you found me. That brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. How about a almost Prince Charming collection? Oh, that's a good idea. I was talking to someone the other day and I was said, everyone does Alice because you have to do Alice because she's such an amazing collection to be able to just get lost in your imagination with. And then I think everyone does like the princess collections, don't they? Which is why I went for red because she's so much different, and I had so much fun creating this collection. And you can still use it. Your kids are going to love it. The adults are going to love it because it's that watercolor alcohol ink effect, very much like um, the Zen Garden Dreams. Sorry. But yes, that is an amazing idea. Prince Charming collection. Ben's watching. Ben, do not let me forget that. Be writing it down for me because that is an awesome idea. Now that would need to have a box, wouldn't it? Definitely craft box with it. Sorry, I hiccuped. So I found you. How about yes? I didn't know you did a box with the Egypt collection. I did. I did. It had that big faux leather embossed panel in it that you could well do whatever you want with it, but it had a big piece of that faux leather. It had some of that acacia cicada cicada wing paper in it. It had that green ribbon with the pearls. It had some what else did I have in there? It had some little charms, some little metal charms. Oh, and a stencil. It had the stencil, didn't it? The Egyptian stencil. You'll see it on my page if you go back and have a look. It is on there, all the stuff that you got in that box with it. Um, I think I've caught up on my comments until either Ben or Alice come in and say you've missed a comment. It is always about the princesses. It is. I love that idea. So keep your eyes peeled for that one because that is an awesome idea. It really is. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not going to do like maybe a Cinderella or a Rapunzel or something. Um, you never say no, so I'm not going to say I'm not going to do one of them because they are fun. Because you've got that idea in mind, and for me, it's fun to sort of change your perspective and make it a little bit different to what you would think it would be. So yeah, equal rights for princes, absolutely, guys, absolutely. Um, I've been keeping Japanese papers and musical antique book, and I would love to use the Zen papers with it. They would go awesome with that, absolutely. If you found me on Facebook, then you will see the three different albums. There's the main Zen collection, then there's the Blossoms, and then there's the backgrounds, and all three of them are absolutely beautiful. So go have a look through those and then pop me a message. So right, I'm done. Let me bring these three back in just quickly for you to have one final look at. I'm not too messy. My desk isn't too messy at all. Um, so I will finish these off and then I'll post the final designs, and then if you've got any questions, obviously you can ask me. But remember, you can message me and ask me anything you want. Don't forget, as much as I want you and would love you to buy all of my papers and all of my collections, just the liking, the sharing of pages, just commenting, it all gets my posts out there, my post noticed, which is just as much appreciated as you buying. So all of that liking, sharing, um, all really means the world. Don't forget the raffle. Lots more sneaky peeks. We're going to be coming up now with the Raven. I'm going to do another live next week. I think we're going to do a back to basics with regards to card making. So what have I done with those cards? They're here, aren't they? So back to basics with regards to mats and layers. Let me just reach over and grab these. So I created these two with exactly the same kind of mats and layers. The difference was I've roughed the edges, distressed the edges. I've tilted the topper. That one's a little bit more clean and simple. We've done some what are those things called? Corner punches. Just lots of little things that can make exactly the same bits and bobs look that much different. Just from bringing your mats and layers, keeping them consistent. So you've got the black, red pattern, and even on the sentiment, you've got the black card, red card, and then the sentiment. So even small little tidbits like keeping your mats and layers consistent. So lots of, and then you'll obviously have lots of chance to ask questions and things like that. I'm going to get some content made and posted with regards to lots more of the. I'm looking up there because they're all up there. Projects. We're definitely getting there, aren't we? We are. I stand with a megaphone on street corners shouting about it. Thank you very much, Gaz. Oh, the Sussex Lancastrian Sarah. Good evening, Michelle. It's been a while since I've caught you live. It's been a while since I've seen your name come up. It's lovely to have you join, even though we're nearly done. But you can go back and watch it. Phil Watson. Good evening, all. Hello. T. Hello. I'm loving seeing all the same names, but I'm loving seeing some sort of new names or some that I ain't seen for a while. That's lovely. It's Lussex. Aye, great to see you, love. I love watching this channel. Patty, thank you so much. I love that you love watching this channel because I know I ramble a lot. And I love the fact that you can all still follow what I'm talking about. So I said to my husband, I said, I'll only be an hour. And 2 hours later, we're just about done. How's that for? See, I don't only run late, but I take twice as long to do everything as anyone else. We've come for the rambling and stay for the crafts. Oh, thanks, guys. Any Hunky Dory live viewers out there? Oh, me. I love watching Hunky Dory. Absolutely. Can't beat. I love Hunky Dory. Can't beat a bit of Hunky Dory. And all the girls are absolutely adorable, aren't they? A little bit less rambling on the Hunky Dory site than on my page. But you can't have it all. So, right. So I've reminded you about everything. My lots of Laura. Oh, I did tell you, didn't I, that I've got a new lady that I want to introduce you to. She's going to be helping me out with some samples. She's doing it for this month, for this next collection, but I might be able to convince her to help me out for a bit longer. You'll recognise her as soon as I show sort of, if you follow Hunky Dory, you'll recognise her name. And I'm still, so I haven't forgotten about the guest DT spot, so that is still a thing, so don't think I forgot about that. That is definitely coming up at some point in the next few months. I just need to get a little bit more organised before I can send stuff out to people. I would spend all day watching your live tutorials. Shannon, thank you. Do you know, I've just done the hair flick. Thank you very much. I'm pretty sure my daughter would rather gouge her own eyes out than sit and listen to me all day. But don't think your kids are supposed to want to listen to you either, so I'm not offended. Um, ooh, Michelle and the hair flick. She loves a hair flick. I do. It's my I just thank you. And the curtsy. Don't forget, I still do a little curtsy when people compliment me. I'm like, thank you. Do a little curtsy. So you see, I think I was a princess in a past life. I think that's what it was. Any more thought on guest design team member? Did you click send on that just as I was saying? I absolutely don't. I haven't forgotten about that guest design team members. Um, you read my mind, Shannon. I haven't forgot at all. It's definitely coming up, and as soon as I'm organised for it, I'm going to put a little post on. And for anyone who doesn't know, you're just going to guess. So I'm going to send you out a collection that's coming up. You're going to do some fabulous projects for me as if you were on my design team. And it just because so many people have asked. For one, it helps me out. For two, it means I'm getting loads of your inspiration for everyone else. And it means you all can have a go at being a design team member. And then, like I was saying before, if you want to go on and apply for other design teams, then you've got that little bit of experience underneath your belt that's going to help you. But I do snap that whip. Don't you think you can have an easy ride of it? I will be popping up. So what I'll do is when I'm ready, I'll pop a post up. Everyone who's interested, obviously, you're going to comment, and the post will probably say, send me some of, the things that you like to make. If you've got any pictures of stuff, things like that. And then she's a real taskmaster. I am. You ask Laura. She's got whip marks. Gaz. Oh, Laura, I know she is. Gaz does know I am because when he messages me and he's not sure on something, I don't help him out at all. I will say to him, "Well, what do you think it needs? What do you think it's missing? Do you like that sentiment? What do you?" So I encourage him to figure it out himself rather than say, "Well, you need to do this, this, and this." Um, and he's like, "Oh, I only asked you if you liked it. I didn't need all those questions." Poor Laura. Laura doesn't mind. Laura doesn't mind at all. She needs whipping into shape sometimes. Uh, right, I'm going to let you go. I am rambling a lot now. She fully encourages each and every weird and wonderful idea. It's terrible. I do. Yes, I do. Because I don't want Laura to craft like me or create something that I would make. I want Laura to create something that she would make, but just using my stuff. Um, So when she comes to me and she says, "I'm thinking about doing this," I'm like, "Yes, you must," because that's what it's all about, isn't it? I get that you can see what's wrong now. You tell me what's wrong. See, I never tell you it's wrong. I ask you if you think it's all right. It's a totally different thing, Gaz. Um, Please add it to YouTube to some people. Do you know what? You keep asking me that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create loads of little shorts, and each short, if you know what I mean, if you're on YouTube a lot, it's going to have a different album in. It's going to have all the pages. So they last about 30 seconds to 2 minutes, don't they? So you can see all the albums very quickly and easy to find as well. That's a great idea, though, Michelle. I occasionally have them, Lynn. I really do. Right, I am going to let you all go because we're just rambling nonsense now. I'm going to get Ben to make me a lovely chicken salad sandwich, I think, for my tea. He doesn't know yet, but he's watching, so he's going to know in a minute. But yes, Definitely alive again, same time next Thursday. We're going to be crafting something. I'm not sure yet. So if there's anything that you wanting to see in particular, let me know. But definitely next Thursday, same time, same place. Um, Again, messages for anything and everything, even if you've got a question or a suggestion, like that amazing prints collection, then you let me know because I'm open to it all. Anything really difficult that you want to see made, Laura will do that for you. Um, oh, great life as always. Thank you. Yes, thank you. I can't wait till you do the pyramid. Yes, I will do that. That is going to be, um, I think that's going to be a pre-record, and then I'll post it because you are going to be wanting to sort of pause in that, not because it's difficult, but because it's a lot. Um, but yes, it's absolutely coming. Do not worry at all. Um, I will let you all get off. I'm going to go make sure that Ben heard what I said about my sandwich. Um, and I will see you all next week. Definitely. And thank you. I don't know if I said thank you, but thank you so much for joining me tonight. I really, really appreciate it. See you all later. Bye bye.